Transmigrated to a global base survival game, everyone is frantically fighting over RVs and tin houses. But you turn around and slip right into a giant conch shell that nobody wants. The boss points right at your nose, screaming that you've lost your mind, and threatening to fire you the second you get back to the real world. The Suck Up, a sports academy graduate, tackles you and pins you straight to the ground, just to secure the tin house for the boss. Meanwhile, nobody notices the massive crab legs slipping out from under the conch shell, tapping rhythmically against the ground. Absolutely no one realizes that this is the only biological base here. All you need is a bite of food, and it can run. It can even forage for its own food. As for those idiots who fought over the big houses, once their power runs out, they'll realize those houses are nothing but graves. Just as you lie down on the soft belly inside the conch shell, the game system's notification suddenly rings out. You snap your eyes open. In front of you is a desolate highway stretching endlessly into the horizon. Transmigrating into a game world for base survival. It's the textbook start of a web novel. Right in front of you lie 5 glowing bases. A tin house on wheels, an RV, an electric scooter, a doghouse, and a 2-meter-tall conch shell. Suddenly, familiar voices drift over from nearby. You look over and see your greasy boss, Manager Yang, and the manipulative Li Xiaoyun, along with the brown-noser Liao Dao. They're all your former co-workers. Boss, you transmigrated too. We actually have someone to lead us now. They swarm around him, showering him with pathetic, fawning compliments while the greasy boss grins, arms wrapped around his favorites. He laughs out loud, boasting, "Relax, it's fine. It's just a game. Once it's over, we'll go right back. What is there to panic about?" He suddenly catches sight of you and barks out an order. "Lin Yi, go check if there's any food in those houses. Bring some over." Still the same old bossy, insufferable attitude. Liao Dao quickly lowers his voice to warn him. "Boss, we're in the base selection phase right now. The tin house is definitely the best option. We can't let him steal it." Without saying a word, you bolt straight toward the tin house. "You think you're worthy, brat?" Manager Yang screeches. Having graduated from a sports academy, Liao Dao is much faster. He catches up in a few strides, grabs you, and turns to the boss with a sycophantic grin. "Boss, please, you choose first." The boss struts forward smugly, promising everyone a raise once they return. As he marches toward the tin house, he doesn't forget to give you a vicious glare. "Lin Yi, how dare you try to snatch what's mine? I'll deal with you in a minute." You were about to break free, but then you spot crab legs quietly retracting beneath the conch shell. This isn't an inanimate object, it's a massive hermit crab. The tin houses and RVs look nice on the outside, but they consume massive amounts of energy. Once the power dies, they'll become graves. But a biological base is completely different. As long as it has food, it can move, and it can even hunt for its own food. Those fools still naively believe they can just go home when the game ends. But right now, survival is the absolute priority. Just then, Auntie Yang snatched the motorhome and shoved Li Xiaoyun to the ground. Li Xiaoyun fumed with indignation, but Liao Ju urged her to go choose an electric scooter instead. With only the doghouse and the conch shell left, Liao Dao sneered. "This doghouse has wheels. It's basically a miniature house. It's mine now. Go carry that giant conch shell on your back. It doesn't even have wheels. Let's see how you move it." He shoved you aside and crawled right inside the doghouse. From inside the tin shack, the boss's mocking voice echoed, "A conch shell? Lin Yi, you might as well just wait to die." You coldly swept your gaze across their 4 sneering faces. Keeping this grudge in mind, you turned around and walked toward the conch shell. The moment you drew near, several crab legs propped up the heavy shell. It revealed an entrance, exactly as you had anticipated. This was the only living entity among the 5 bases, and it was the absolute best choice. You crawled inside and lay down on the hermit crab's soft belly. It was surprisingly comfortable. Just then, the system's voice rang out in everyone's ears. Game Rule 1. This is a journey of survival. Your base is your everything. Players can plunder each other's bases. During this initial 24-hour novice phase, your bases are protected by an invincible shield. Rule 2. You are the master of your base. No one can enter without your permission, unless you are killed. Rule 3. Inexplicable, eerie horrors exist in this world. They will attack your base and erode your sanity. Please monitor your 3 main stats. Rule 4. Non-playable characters exist in this world. Do not provoke them lightly. However, if you find your loneliness unbearable, you may invite them to accompany you, provided you aren't afraid of having your head ripped off. Rule 5. In order to survive, please continuously upgrade both your base and yourself. Before the game begins, all players will receive one chance to draw a talent. A talent wheel materialized before your eyes. It was clearly divided from D tier to S tier. Marksman Mastery, Pyrokinesis, Infinite Stamina, Magnetism Control, 100-fold critical hit. Every ability was clear at a glance. You pressed the stop button. The pointer landed on the absolute smallest slice of the wheel. Congratulations, player, on obtaining a hidden talent. God-Tier Affix, a hidden talent. You froze for a moment. Other talents and abilities were straightforward and clear. But you couldn't make heads or tails of this God-Tier Affix. The system's voice rang out once more. You have obtained one equipment slot. Any item can be placed inside. Different items grant different affixes. The equipment slot can be applied to either yourself or your base. Each equipment change has a 24-hour cooldown. An ethereal slot materialized on your hand. With just a thought, you could attach it to yourself or the hermit crab. Equipping different items would grant different abilities. Your eyes lit up, but that 24-hour cooldown couldn't be wasted. You absolutely couldn't equip some useless piece of junk. Otherwise, your early game progression would be completely ruined. You pulled up your character status panel. Name, Lin Yi. Race, human. Healthy, sanity, 100%. 3 core stats, talent, 100%. God tier affix, talent equipment slot 1, empty, base, hermit crab, level 1. Health, 100%. Attack power, 80. Defense, 20. Speed, 30 km per hour. Stamina, 50%. Mild hunger, space, 10 cubic meters. Base equipment slot 1, empty. Aside from the standard base equipment slot, the talent equipment slot is completely unique to you. Too bad I don't have any usable weapons right now. Just then, a system announcement echoes from high above. Phase 1 of the game is now live. Time to gear up, rookies. Tension, players of Zone 2026. Your current location is the starter highway. Starter supply crates are spawning now. Fight for them to upgrade your bases. In 24 hours, beginner protection will expire, and you will face your first wave of anomalous attacks. Get ready, the game officially begins now. You poke your head out of your shell. Up ahead, 5 streaks of light plummet from the sky. Gold, purple, blue, green, and white. 5 tiers of supply crates crash onto the highway. Gold is the absolute best, while white is the worst. Several of your co-workers immediately power up their bases and race toward them. Liao Dao pokes his head out of his doghouse base, paddling forward with his feet. He laughs mockingly. Hey, Lin Yi, keep crawling slow with that giant seashell on your back. Meanwhile, the boss's tin shack, Manager Yang's RV, and Li Xiaoyun's electric scooter all roar to life. Seeing you standing dead still, they all sneer at you. But you aren't carrying the shell, instead, you crawl right up to the very top of it. The next second, the entire giant conch suddenly lifts off the ground. 4 massive crab legs burst out, charging forward at an insane speed. In the blink of an eye, you catch up to Liao Dao. What the hell, it's actually running. Liao Dao gasps, completely stunned. He hastily slams the brakes on his doghouse, blocking your path. What do you think you're doing? You frown. The supply crates are limited, Liao Dao sneers. And since you won't survive long with that worthless shell anyway, don't waste our resources. Liao Dao sneers. That's right, we are a team, and you're just an intern. You should wait until we're done picking before you grab the leftovers, Mrs. Yang chimes in. Li Xiaoyun calls out hypocritically, come on, Lin Yi. You'd better watch your attitude. Otherwise, once we get back to the real world, you're going to pay for this. You let out a cold laugh. It's literally the apocalypse, and they're still trying to pull that corporate hierarchy crap on me? These people are absolutely delusional. Ram right through him, you order. The hermit crab instantly pivots, slamming its massive shell violently into the doghouse. Bang, the doghouse is flipped clean upside down. Thanks to the beginner shield, his base isn't destroyed, but the sheer force of the impact sends Liao Dao flying. He rolls head over heels across the asphalt. Having blown past Liao Dao, your hermit crab accelerates once more, heading straight for the supply crates. It's a hermit crab. His base is actually a hermit crab. Li Xiaoyun gasped, quickly twisting her throttle to catch up with the boss. The boss, Feng Tai, frowned, looked back, and barked an order. Manager Yang, block him. Auntie Yang's RV was the fastest, and she immediately slowed down to block the path behind the tin house. Don't worry, boss, he's not going anywhere fast. Feng Tai glanced back, seeing that you indeed couldn't catch up. He let out a sigh of relief. You dare try to steal my chests? I'm taking all of them. I'll starve you to death. The tin house slammed into the golden chest first. Auntie Yang snatched the purple one, while Li Xiaoyun grabbed the blue one. Feng Tai swept up the green one as well, leaving only the white chest to fall into your hands. Feng Tai's house pulled up neck and neck with yours, a ruthless glint suddenly flashing in his eyes. He steered his house to ram right into you. You ungrateful piece of trash. Get out of my way. The tin house was much larger in size. This impact sent the hermit crab flying over 10 meters away. You managed to steady yourself. You opened the white chest, only to find a single loaf of bread inside. Bread? Can bread even be equipped? You were speechless, but there was no time to overthink this. If you didn't activate your talent right now, Feng Tai was seriously going to kill you. Hermit crabs are omnivorous, so bread should work. You slotted the bread into your talent equipment slot and chose to equip it to your base. The interface instantly popped up. Item equipped. Item. Bread. Name of effect. Infinite energy. Quality. Golden legendary. Type. Concept class attribute. Grants target infinite energy. For biological targets, this translates to infinite stamina. Movement speed is increased 5 times, and strength is increased 10 times. 10 times the strength. Your eyes lit up. Hermit crab, smash him. Feng Tai's tin house came ramming in once more, but this time. The hermit crab extended its massive claw, stopping the collision dead in its tracks. The tin house hit it as if ramming a mountain, remaining completely motionless. Feng Tai's face paled. What is this? What's going on? Ram him, ram him. Feng Tai frantically operated his base. Yet, he couldn't push the claw even a fraction of an inch. It wasn't like this just a moment ago. He scrambled to turn and steer away, but it was already too late. Trying to run now? Smash him. The hermit crab's massive claws exerted immense force, swinging sideways in a sweeping blow. Boom! The tin house was instantly sent flying. It slid sideways for dozens of meters across the highway before finally stopping. Oh my god! Li Xiaoyun, riding her electric scooter, gasped and covered her mouth in shock. How did that hermit crab get so strong all of a sudden? He must have unlocked some ridiculously overpowered talent. Auntie Yang was the first to snap out of it, while Liao Dao only just managed to catch up. He clung to the window of the tin house and shouted, Boss! Boss, are you okay? Inside the house, Feng Tai had been thrown around, leaving his face black and blue. He scrambled up, seething with rage. Damn that Lin Yi, I'm going to kill him. Boss, it's good that you're okay. Aunt Yang pulled up in her RV. Feng Tai's face darkened. Don't worry about me, you're fast. Get moving and grab those resource crates ahead first. He can't touch me during the trial phase. Once the protection period ends, my talent will kick in, and I'll deal with him then. Right. Manager Yang, hurry, I'll take care of the boss. Liao Ju nodded eagerly. Aunt Yang didn't hesitate any longer and slammed her foot on the gas. The RV roared forward, speeding past you just dozens of meters away. You glanced back at Feng Tai and Liao Dao's bases. Both were covered in a faint, protective glow. In the trial stage, players couldn't actually hurt each other. I'll let them off for now. In 24 hours, when the first wave of supernatural attacks hits. I hope you two survive. You patted the conch shell. Alright, little buddy, let's go grab those resource crates. The hermit crab stretched out its long legs and dashed forward at breakneck speed. It vanished in the blink of an eye, leaving the two men behind completely dumbfounded. How is his hermit crab running so fast? Feng Tai gasped. That's not the speed of a hermit crab. That's a race car. Liao Dao was sick with regret. If I had known, I would have chosen the conch. Suddenly, Feng Tai's face paled. Oh no, he's moving way too fast. Manager Yang is going to lose out. Liao Dao panicked as well. He's not going to steal every single resource crate, is he? On the highway, the hermit crab sprinted wildly. You opened the regional chat channel. The chat was already blowing up. It's over. My base is a toilet. It literally needs waste for fuel. And it's open air. My base is a stretch Lincoln. Fully fueled, looking for a girl to team up with. Help, my electric tricycle is down to 20% battery. What do I do? Steel Fortress base here. Hiring a live-in maid, a female chef, and a female housekeeper. Some were thrilled, while others were in despair. Compared to them, your hermit crab was basically the absolute peak of starting setups. Sitting atop the shell, you couldn't hide your excitement. While everyone else was stressing over power and fuel, you had unlocked infinite stamina with just a single piece of bread. This completely solved your biggest early game survival hurdle. 5 times speed, and 10 times strength. It put you miles ahead of everyone else in this early development phase. The 24-hour protection period was the golden window for development. Stamina and speed meant everything. Once the 24-hour cooldown ended, you could swap out the bread for other items. And unlock brand new traits. What if you equipped those items onto yourself? Things like magnetism manipulation or pyrokinesis would practically be yours for the taking. Lin Yi, up ahead in the middle of the highway, Li Xiaoyun was parked on her electric bike. Waving at you, she prompts you to slow down the hermit crab. Pulling up next to her, you ask, "How did you get so far on just an electric scooter?" She had run off first when you and Feng Tai clashed, so logically you should have overtaken her long ago. Surprisingly, she has made it 2 or 3 kilometers. Li Xiaoyun bites her lip. Looking utterly pitiful, "I drew a C-class acceleration talent, so I was able to run fast. But now my battery has completely run out." Understanding her situation, your lips curl into a faint smirk. "So you boosted the scooter, and now you're out of juice, right?" She nods vigorously, her eyes welling up with tears. "Lin Yi, actually, I've liked you for a very long time. Please take me with you, okay? I can give you whatever you want," she says as she starts pulling down her collar. Stop, you cut her off directly. "We were colleagues for half a year, and you went through more than a dozen guys. You bragged about it in the office every single day. And now you're saying this? Don't you find yourself disgusting?" Li Xiaoyun's face flushes bright red. Her tears stream down her face instantly. "You piece of trash. Get lost." You sneer. You command the hermit crab to charge forward, leaving a massive cloud of dust behind you. Li Xiaoyun clenches her fists, her entire body shaking with rage. Her eyes are filled with pure venom. "Lin Yi, you will regret this." 1 kilometer away, Auntie Yang floors the gas pedal, finally spotting the second batch of resource crates. 1 golden one and 2 purple ones. Right there, 100 meters ahead. Her eyes light up with greed. "They are all mine." Just as she is about to charge over, a massive roar echoes from behind. She glances in the rearview mirror and sees your hermit crab. Auntie Yang's face goes completely pale. "Oh no, Lin Yi has caught up. No, don't you dare steal my resource crates." Auntie Yang slams on the gas, heading straight for the 4 crates. But she vastly underestimated your speed. The hermit crab sprints at full power, reaching a speed of 150 kilometers per hour, plowing forward like a heavy semi-truck. The moment her RV touches a resource crate, the crab's pincers clamp onto the vehicle's rear. With a violent flip, boom, the entire RV is tossed high into the air, flipping several times before crashing heavily to the ground. The newbie shield lights up, leaving the vehicle's body completely unscathed. But inside, Auntie Yang is slumped over the steering wheel, throwing up uncontrollably. Was the roller coaster ride fun? Sitting on the conch shell, you smirk. The hermit crab approaches the resource crates, smashing the lids open with its dual pincers. More than 10 streaks of light shoot out and fly into your backpack. From Golden Resource Crate 1, you obtain 3 units of fuel. From Electrical Energy, 2 units. From Purple Resource Crate 3, you obtain 1 royal mattress, 1 duvet, and 30 bottles of mineral water, 10 bottles of cola and 30 bars of chocolate, 2 kilograms of beef jerky and 3 kilograms of raw pork. That's a lot of supplies. Too bad there are no weapons. In 24 hours, the ghastly monsters will attack. Without any weapons, I'll be a sitting duck. I still don't even know what those monsters actually are. Auntie Yang stumbled out of her vehicle, pointed a finger at you, and screamed in rage. You little brat, hand over those supplies right now. You're just a measly intern. Don't you know how things work? The moment we get back, I'm firing you. Looking at her ridiculous face, you can't help but find it hilarious. A petty manager always using her title to bully newbies. Do you actually think you're some big shot? Do you have any idea how hard it is to find a job out there these days? If you cross us, you'll never hear the end of it. Auntie Young put on a fierce front, but she was trembling inside. You shrugged your shoulders. This is a game of apocalyptic survival. You're not in the peaceful world anymore. Are you really sure you'll even make it back alive? Auntie Yang's face instantly went pale. She had never even considered that. That's impossible. This is just a game. Once it's over, we can all go home. She screamed like a lunatic, but you couldn't be bothered to pay her any attention. You gently patted the shell. Little crab, let's move. No way. Leave some fuel for me. My RV is almost out of gas. Auntie Young rushed over to block your path. You frowned in annoyance. The hermit crab immediately raised its pincers, which were even larger than her entire body. Auntie Young was terrified out of her wits, scrambling and crawling back inside her RV's protective shield. She shrieked in horror, if I don't have fuel, I'm going to die. You can't be this heartless. You gave a cold sneer. If you had the upper hand, my fate would have been 100 times worse. With a loud rumble, the hermit crab stretched out its long legs. It stepped right past her. Auntie Young stared at your departing back, gnashing her teeth in sheer hatred. Little did she know, if not for the novice protection period, she would already be a corpse by now. It has been 4 hours since the game started. From the first wave of monster attacks. There are still 20 hours left. You need to hurry up and find a weapon. Just then, a regional announcement popped up. Congratulations to player Wang Cheng. Base upgraded to level 2, becoming the first player to upgrade in District 2026. Obtained the common grade title, Pioneer. Title effects. Stamina consumption reduced by 5%. Energy consumption reduced by 5%. Chat channel erupted instantly. Whoa, there are actually titles in this game? Reducing resource usage is insanely practical. Even a common title is this strong. A legendary gold title must be completely broken. Big boss, please tell us how to upgrade. Please carry me. You raised an eyebrow at the screen. Title boosts are much more practical than most talents. Too bad there's only one chance per district. There are a full 1 million players in District 2026. At the top of the interface, the survivor count reads 999,993. People have already died. Little crab, let's pick up the pace and gather more resources. The hermit crab maintained a speed of 150 miles per hour, flying down the novice highway. More than 10 minutes later, you met another player. By the side of the road, a young guy was sitting on a toilet, his face flushed bright red from straining. Damn it. Come on, just come out already. A cloud of dust billowed behind him, and the guy spun around in terror. Just as he was about to lose his temper, he spotted a 3-meter-tall hermit crab. He froze instantly, utterly dumbfounded. Holy cow, what on earth is that? He stared up, completely shell-shocked. He almost burst into tears. God, please open your eyes. Is this even fair? Huh? Fair? You looked down at Guo Fengen sitting on the toilet. You were also taken aback. So this was Toilet Guy, the viral sensation from the chat channel. Hey, bro. Can we make a deal? Guo Fengen shouted excitedly. What kind of deal? Food. I need food. Since the trading post wasn't open yet, he couldn't trade away any of his resources. Guo Fengen pulled a baseball bat from his backpack, a weapon he had gotten from a blue chest. To trade for food? Your eyes lit up. This was the very first weapon you had seen. You pulled out a piece of pork. 1 baseball bat for 1 piece of meat? That's not enough. At the sight of the pork, Guo Fengen's eyes practically popped out of his head. I have more. I've got another treasure. He whipped out a manual, and your eyes instantly lit up. This is the one. Guo Fengen waved the manual in the air. Doomsday Survival Tips. The info in here is bound to be useful. Deal. In a strange world like this, having a guide will help you avoid a lot of traps. The hermit crab used its claw to hand over the pork. With the trade complete, Guo Fengen looked at the hermit crab with pure envy. Bro, your base is absolutely insane. As he spoke, he took a bite straight out of the raw pork, making you cringe in disgust. Bro, I have fire. Guo Fengen waved his hand. No need, raw food goes right through you. Perfect for what I'm doing here. You stared at the toilet beneath him, completely speechless. Saying goodbye to Toilet Guy, you headed back inside your conch shell. You lay down on the royal grade mattress and flipped open the manual. 1. The base can be upgraded, but it requires a base upgrade book. This drops from killing monsters. 2. Upgrading consumes materials. These can be obtained by destroying other players' bases, killing monsters, or opening resource chests. 3. There are outposts along the way where players gather to fight off monsters. They are also battlegrounds where players kill one another. 4. Do not easily trust NPCs. They aren't necessarily good people. 5. Getting hurt by monsters will cause infection. Your 3 main stats will drop rapidly. 6. Players' talents are incredibly diverse. Talent levels are tied to your base level, and upgrading requires meeting specific conditions. These 6 tips packed quite a lot of information. Upgrading your base and talents requires resources, and visiting an outpost is an absolute must. We can band together for safety, and also gather information. We can trade resources. There are less than 20 hours left. You need to focus on gathering supply crates first, then head to the stronghold. You crawl out of the shell, little crab. Full speed ahead, with infinite stamina, the hermit crab never gets tired. Sprinting all the way, you open quite a few supply crates one after another. Steel, kindling, tires, medicine, and bullets. You're getting a wider variety of supplies. But still no guns. Along the way, you've seen all sorts of bases. Tents, shipping containers, cars, trucks, but none are more ridiculous than that toilet. Every time your hermit crab speeds past, it always draws gasps of amazement. But you ignore them all, focusing entirely on quietly leveling up. There are only 2 hours left before the newbie grace period ends. You've already collected over 130 supply crates, and resources are piling up, filling half your inventory. But having ammo without a gun, it just doesn't feel safe. The sky is darkening, with barely over an hour left before the horrors arrive. It's time to head to a stronghold. Just as you're wondering where one is, the chat channel suddenly lights up. A location is shared, the Auto Haven. Guys, look at this. I found stronghold number 3. It's actually a real stronghold. I'm on my way. This is awesome. The horrors are coming. Our only chance of survival is to stick together. Anyone nearby, get over here quick. Defeating the horrors drops resources. This is a real chance to survive. You tap on the location. The system panel instantly pops up navigation, Auto Haven. Distance, 103 kilometers. This is the closest stronghold. That's the spot. The hermit crab speeds off, following the navigation. On the road, you see players converging from all directions. You raise an eyebrow. More people means attracting more horrors. Besides, once the newbie protection period ends, and the crisis passes, it'll turn into a massive free-for-all battle among players. This stronghold is probably going to turn into a bloody battleground. You equip the baseball bat onto your base's equipment slot. In the next second, a giant baseball bat, nearly 3 meters long and as thick as a tree trunk, appears in the hermit crab's massive claw. Looks like a giant, oversized golden cudgel. Holy crap, how did it get so huge? Your eyes widen in shock. Your confidence surges. One swing of this thing, and even an ordinary RV would be smashed to pieces. You quickly tell the crab to put it away. You can't show your hand just yet. Better to play dumb and catch them off guard later. Little crab, stay low. Don't be so flashy. The hermit crab immediately retracts its claws, lowers its shell, and crawls slowly close to the ground. It looks completely harmless. Half an hour later, the sky has gone completely dark, and you arrive at stronghold number 3. At the entrance of the highway station, 2 giant trucks over 10 meters tall stand towering on both sides. Like 2 massive guardians, your hermit crab is 3 meters tall, which isn't even as big as one of their tires. To the left of the station is a mountain of abandoned vehicles, while the right side is packed with all kinds of player bases, tents, sofas, bicycles, skateboards, banana boats, kayaks. They're completely bizarre. There are also houses, shipping containers, and normal bases like buses and trucks. You even spot another biological base, a 6-legged lizard with a tent on its back. It's covered in green spikes, its crimson eyes looking around warily. Floating above its head is a white title, Pioneer. It's Wang Cheng, the very first player to upgrade. So that's the big shot Wang Cheng's level 2 lizard base. Man, that's insane. Look at my skateboard base. One whip of its tail and I'd be smashed to pieces. Come on, look on the bright side. Level 1 is a skateboard, but who knows? Level 10 might be a flying aircraft carrier. While everyone is gossiping, someone notices you. Look, another one. What is that? Is that a conch? Another biological base? Doesn't look like much, though. It crawls so slowly. It's a miracle they made it to the station alive. Because you kept a low profile. The crowd only sees a shell slowly creeping along, thinking it's just a regular conch. You don't bother to explain. This is exactly the reaction you wanted. Hearing the commotion, the flap of the tent on the six-legged lizard's back lifts. And a man with a scarred face steps out. Where is it? What does this other biological base look like? He asks gruffly. His eyes sweep over to your conch shell, his face instantly filling with disdain. A conch? What a piece of trash. The corner of your mouth twitches in a barely noticeable smirk. Cocky bastard. Good. You ignore his provocation. You check the time. It is 6:30 p.m. The moon hangs high in the sky, and the last of the daylight is about to vanish completely. There are about 200 to 300 players gathered here, and more keep trickling in. A faint protective barrier of light covers every base, but its energy is growing weaker and weaker. It will completely dissolve in half an hour. The novice phase is drawing to a close, and the real survival game is about to begin. The atmosphere grows incredibly tense. Everyone is warily watching the people around them. Aside from the monsters, our own kind is the greatest threat. You feel the same way. A weak base doesn't mean a weak player. Talents can be completely unpredictable. And with firearms in the mix, a conch shell might not stop a bullet. You have to watch your step. Just then, Wang Chang suddenly shouts at the top of his lungs. Listen up, everyone, the monsters will be here any minute. No one knows how strong they are. If we want to survive this, how about we team up? We still have half an hour. Let's form a defensive circle so as many of us can make it through as possible. He's currently the only level 2 player, so he has a lot of pull. I agree. Banding together is our only hope in this apocalypse. I'm with you, Boss Chang. Most of the players responded enthusiastically. The few who stayed silent were taken as tacit approval. Alright, I'll make the arrangements. Everyone, form 3 concentric circles. The outer circle blocks the monsters, while the middle and inner circles support and rotate. Until we wipe out every last anomaly, Wang Chang said as he drove his 6-legged lizard to the outermost circle. Many players immediately followed suit, and the 3-layered defensive formation quickly took shape. Standing in the outer circle, you did a rough head count. Nearly 300 people, and only a few minutes left. Your 4 colleagues rushed over as well. There was Feng Tai's tin house, Aunt Yang's RV, Li Xiaoyun's electric scooter, and Liao Dao's doghouse, all scurrying desperately into the defensive circle. Boss, it's that kid Lin Yi. Liao Dao pointed at you. To think we'd actually run into him here. Aunt Yang's face twisted in rage. Find a chance to kill him. Li Xiaoyun's eyes darted around, hiding the sheer hatred deep inside. But her gaze swept across the crowd of players before finally resting on Wang Chang. Boss, that expert with the title is over there. Let's get closer to him. Feng Tai nodded. He'll only be safe near an expert. Don't rush. We'll have plenty of chances to finish him off. Right now, we must work together against the enemy. Making trouble now will only get us wiped out by the others, Feng Tai warned in a low voice. Time ticked away, second by second. The 24-hour novice protection period had officially ended. Out in the pitch-black distance, eerie, bone-chilling roars began to echo. The anomalies were here. Roar. The terrifying roars sounded like wild beasts, sounding exceptionally bone-chilling in the dead of night. The protective energy shields around every player's base had vanished, leaving everyone feeling completely exposed. With absolutely no sense of security, though this defensive position held nearly 300 people, and was divided into 3 layers, the varying sizes of their bases made the outermost perimeter incredibly massive. Standing atop your conch shell, you looked back, but you couldn't even catch a glimpse of the outer perimeter on the far side. The diameter of the defensive circle exceeded 500 meters, half a kilometer shrouded in total darkness. The opposite end of the circle was swallowed by the night, which also meant that if the anomalies broke through the other side of the perimeter, they wouldn't even know it. You frowned, realizing this defensive layout had a fatal flaw. Roar. Just as you were lost in thought, the monstrous roars in front of you grew closer. You instantly went on high alert. They're right in front of us. The surrounding players grew tense as well, raising their weapons and bracing themselves. Then, a pair of glowing green eyes lit up in the dark. An anomaly was staring at them from the shadows. Slowly, a wild dog standing over 1 meter tall emerged before their eyes. Its body was covered in oozing pustules, and half of its head had completely rotted away, leaving behind a mangled mess of blood and bone. It was absolutely revolting. A game panel pops up in front of you. Ghoulish beast. Rotting hound. Level. Tier. Attack power. 50. Note. An adult male has 5. Defense, 30. Note, an adult male has 5. Agility, 20. Note, an adult male has 5. Description, a low-level ghoulish beast in the starting zone, a starving predator. They love to pack hunt. A nightmare for solo players. This panel appeared before all the players. Seeing those numbers, the players' faces turned pale. An attack power of 50? Only have 6, damn it. How are we supposed to fight this? It's over. I'm dead meat. Fear began to set in as panic spread like wildfire among them. Meanwhile, more and more rotting hounds emerged from the darkness. They glared with predatory intensity, but didn't attack right away. You quickly scanned the area, realizing there were already 20 to 30 of them in front of you. Roar! Suddenly, one of the rotting hounds launched an attack. Pouncing like a cannonball, it charged straight at the player's defensive line. And the one directly in its path was none other than you. It's coming for me, you realized instantly. The hermit crab beneath you was ready to fight, but out of nowhere, Wang Chang, over 100 meters away, suddenly made a move. His 6-legged lizard broke rank, charging straight toward that rotting hound. This sudden move left the other players on the line completely stunned. Wait, weren't we told not to break formation? The 6-legged lizard was incredibly fast, and its massive body was 3 times the size of the rotting hound. Clearly, a level 1 rotting hound stood absolutely no chance. Against the 6-legged lizard, you instantly put 2 and 2 together. Damn it, this guy is trying to steal my first kill. Wang Cheng was the first to upgrade his base, earning the very first title of Region 2026. He must have gotten a taste of the sweet rewards. Breaking the line without permission is just so he can snatch the first kill title. You scoffed. This rotting hound was clearly coming for me. Like hell I'll let you steal my kill. Hermit crab, do it. The hermit crab bolted forward, moving even faster than the level 2 6-legged lizard. Besides, you were much closer to the rotting hound than the 6-legged lizard was. So, the hermit crab was about to clash with the rotting hound in no time. Seeing this, Wang Cheng, standing atop the 6-legged lizard, roared in anger, "Kid! Don't touch it, let me have it." You sneered, "Let you have it? What a joke." Seeing that you had no intention of stopping, Wang Cheng panicked, "You bastard. If you dare make a move, I'll be the first to kill you." When you were less than 10 meters away from the corpse dog, it suddenly leapt high into the air. It lunged straight at you on top of the conch shell with blinding speed. Baring its fangs, the corpse dog's massive jaws exhaled a sickening, foul stench. "He's done for." Seeing this, the surrounding players cried out in shock, "What an idiot. You've only got a basic conch shell. Why are you picking a fight? Now you're dead meat." Talk about overestimating yourself. Didn't you see how terrifying the corpse dog's stat panel is? This guy is going to get eaten alive. He's stupid beyond belief. The corpse dog was launching an airborne attack, while you were completely exposed on top of the shell. It was basically serving yourself up on a silver platter. No one believed you had any way to fight back. But just when everyone thought you were a goner, the conch shell suddenly surged upward. A massive crab claw shot out from beneath the shell, like a boxer's devastating uppercut. It slammed violently into the mid-air corpse dog. Thud, the razor-sharp claw sliced the corpse dog clean in two, killing it instantly. Seeing this, every single player stood there, utterly dumbfounded. Uproar broke out everywhere. Holy crap, isn't that a conch? How did a giant claw just pop out of it? Conch, my ass, that's a hermit crab. Killed a tier 1 corpse dog. Psionic energy +5. Talent skills require psionic energy. Increasing psionic energy can upgrade your talents. Obtained 1 unit of steel. The information flashed through your mind. Right after, the voice of the game system echoed from the sky, ringing in the ears of every player. Server announcement. Congratulations to player Lin Yi from Zone 2026 for securing the first kill of an anomaly. Awarded the purple title, Pioneer. Awarded the first kill reward bundle. Pioneer title effect. Permanent 10% boost to all stats. Psionic consumption reduced by 10%. Drop rate increased by 10%. Obtained triple magic resistance. As the voice faded, purple Pioneer title appeared above your head. It was incredibly eye-catching. Holy shit, a purple title, a permanent 10% boost to all stats, and a 10% increase to drop rates. What a badass title buff. Damn it, now I know why they were fighting over that corpse dog. They were trying to steal the first kill. We were all played. Did you notice? This isn't just a regional title. It's a server-wide title. No wonder the buffs are so insane. We were so stupid. Right then, everyone's gaze toward you and Wang Cheng turned furious. Such a massive opportunity, snatched away just like that. Damn it, I told you to stop. Did you not hear me? Wang Cheng glared at you, his eyes nearly bursting with rage. He stared at you in absolute anger, but you only smiled coldly. You picked at your ear and said, "What did you say?" I didn't quite catch that. That was my prey. Wang Cheng yells in rage right in front of the players, but you just point to your own spot. This is my defense post. Me killing the beasts is completely justified. But your defense post is over there. So, let me ask you this. What exactly are you trying to do? You're the one who organized this defense line. Yet you left your post without permission, completely disregarding the lives of your allies. What's your deal? You point your sword directly at Wang Cheng. Your words are razor sharp. In an instant, all the blame shifts to Wang Cheng. The surrounding players look at him with growing irritation. Feeling the shift in the crowd's mood, Wang Cheng's face darkens. Going from the leader of the alliance to the target of public outrage, this massive fall from grace only makes Wang Cheng seethe with more rage. He glares at you with pure hatred before turning around and heading back to his post. Wang Cheng might be strong, but with hundreds of people here, he doesn't get the final say. Besides, the supernatural cataclysm has only just begun. He still needs to rely on the crowd's strength to easily secure the maximum benefits for himself. So this time, he has no choice but to swallow his anger and back down, not daring to make an enemy of you. The corners of your mouth curl up into a cold, subtle smirk. You clearly had the moral high ground this time. Plus, you scored the first kill title and the first kill gift pack. You hit the jackpot. As the hermit crab returns to its post on the defense line, you stop sitting on top of the conch shell. You slip inside the conch shell, lying down on its soft mattress. Since the hermit crab serves as your base, you share its field of vision. So, even if you hide inside, you can clearly see what's happening outside. You can also control the hermit crab in real time to deal with any sudden threats. Once you return to the defense line, surrounding players look at you with a mix of envy and jealousy. There's even some resentment, but no matter how they feel, no one steps up to start trouble right now. Because everyone knows, this is no time for infighting. If a conflict breaks out now, the alliance will collapse instantly, and the beasts will tear them all to shreds. More and more carrion hounds are gathering around, their glowing green eyes gleaming in the dark. It's a terrifying sight. The smarter players have already realized. Why so many beasts are swarming here? Isn't it precisely because there are so many of them? If a single player were alone on the highway, they definitely wouldn't attract this many carrion hounds. Otherwise, no one would ever survive. But the situation they face now is a direct result of grouping up. So, they can't even tell if teaming up was a good or bad idea. Still, there's no turning back now. They have to stick together and do their best to keep this alliance alive. Otherwise the consequences will be far worse. Roar! The roars of the carrion hounds echo once more, but this time, they are attacking the other side of the defensive perimeter. You look toward the rear, your brow furrowing. They actually changed their attack direction? Are these beasts really that smart? Low intelligence creatures would just charge straight at their prey. But these beasts are clearly testing the waters, launching attacks from different directions. To find a weak spot. This battle is going to be tough. This so-called stronghold is actually just a trap, you mutter. Ignoring the chaos outside, you quickly open your system panel and inventory. Found the first kill gift pack I just got. I wonder if it will give me some good stuff. You open the first kill gift pack, and a list of supplies suddenly pops up in front of you. Level 2 base upgrade blueprint, 1 copy. Desert Eagle pistol, 1. Bullets, 10 rounds. Fuel, 5 units. Power energy, 5 units. Refined steel, 10 units. Seeing these resources, your eyes instantly light up. A base upgrade blueprint, plus a Desert Eagle pistol. This is exactly what you need. With things being so dangerous right now, upgrading your base could save your life. You don't hesitate for a single second to use the upgrade blueprint. System, upgrade base to level 2. The following materials are required. Level 2 base upgrade blueprint, 1 copy. Steel, 50 units. Power energy, 5 units. Meat, 10 kilograms. Psionic crystals, obtained by killing eerie creatures, 10 crystals. Looking at the prompt on the game panel, you freeze. You have all the other materials, but this psionic crystal is the only exception. You have to kill eerie beasts to get it. You just killed a rot hound. But you didn't get any psionic crystal. This thing doesn't even have a 100% drop rate. How on earth did that guy Wang Cheng get a psionic crystal? You frown deeply. Without upgrading to level 2, in this chaotic melee, you'll still be in grave danger. And what you worry about most is the trouble that comes after the eerie attack. There are hundreds of players here. Once the eerie attack is over, the alliance will surely fall apart, and then human greed will rear its ugly head. A chaotic free-for-all will be unavoidable. Plus, there are Wang Cheng, Feng Tai, and the others. They've had their eyes on you for a long time. It's going to be a fight to the death. You have to improve your strength as much as possible. If my talent can just reach level 2, then I can unlock another equipment slot and get a new attribute. My strength would definitely skyrocket. You ponder, looks like I'll have to kill more eerie beasts. You grip your pistol, ready to fight at a moment's notice. Roar. Just then, the rot hounds in front let out a menacing growl. Suddenly launching an attack, the rot hounds are charging. Quick, get ready to fight, you bastards. There are so many of them. The players around you cry out in panic. Everyone growing incredibly tense. You lie flat on the hermit crab's back, peering through the cracks of the conch shell at the charging rot hounds. Right in front of you, there are as many as 3 of them. Little crab, let's do this. 2 rot hounds leap high into the air, fiercely pouncing toward the players on either side of you. On your left is an afro-haired youth on a skateboard. The afro-haired guy grips a long saber, looking incredibly nervous. On your right, there's an open-air tricycle. The player pedaling it is a middle-aged man. He's clutching a wooden stick with both hands, his entire body trembling. At that exact moment, 2 rot hounds pounce, scaring the man half to death. No, please, stay back. Just as the zombie dog lunged forward, 2 massive crab claws thrust out from beneath the conch shell. They snapped together at the airborne zombie dog. Splat, the giant claws acted like a massive pair of shears, instantly snipping the zombie dog clean in half. The zombie dog's severed carcass tumbled from the air, landing right in front of the tricycle-riding uncle and the guy with the afro. The sight turned both of their faces stark white. There's another one. The tricycle uncle pointed forward, his finger trembling. A zombie dog was charging straight for your hermit crab, but little crab's reflexes were lightning fast. It slammed its claw down hard, pinning the zombie dog flat to the ground. With all 3 zombie dogs dead, the system's voice chimed in your ear. Tier 1 zombie dog kills +3. Psionic energy +15. Obtained 1 unit of steel. Obtained 1 bag of chocolate. Obtained 2 bottles of mineral water. Obtained 2 psionic crystals. Your eyes lit up. Finally, you had the psionic crystals. It seemed hunting down mutants really was the way to go. Seeing how easily you dispatched the zombie dogs, the nearby players instantly felt a wave of relief. Wait, so these zombie dogs are actually total garbage? Hell yeah, let's get him too. About 10 meters to your right, a beefy man burst out of his wooden cabin. He grabbed a shovel and swung it hard at an oncoming zombie dog. Whack, but after taking the shovel blow, the zombie dog merely shook its head. It fiercely lunged and pinned the man down, burying its foul, rotting jaws deep into his neck. Blood sprayed everywhere. This horrific sight scared the surrounding players pale as they broke into a chorus of panicked screams. No, it's not that the zombie dogs are weak. It's just that Lin Yi is insanely strong. Thwip, thwip, thwip. The youth on the motorcycle raised his compound bow and fired 3 rapid shots, finally putting the zombie dog down. But by then, the surrounding zombie dogs charged all at once, violently crashing into the defensive line. Ah, help me. To your left, a player with an electric scooter base was tackled to the ground by a zombie dog. Save me, please, somebody help me. To your right, a player with an open-top tricycle base was rammed over, vehicle and all, by a zombie dog. The moment he hit the ground, a second zombie dog lunged forward and dragged him right out of the defensive line. Horrors like this were unfolding everywhere. As zombie dogs swarmed in from all sides, the outer perimeter of the defense line took a devastating hit. Players were falling at an alarming rate. As the players on the outer ring died, those in the middle ring rushed to fill the gaps. When the middle ring players couldn't hold, the inner ring players had to step up. The battle quickly descended into absolute chaos. It was a bloodbath. You commanded your hermit crab, slashing through the zombie dogs in a frenzy. Its massive claws were absolute weapons of mass destruction, reaping lives with every single strike. The afro-haired guy on his scooter and the big man on his tricycle stood on either side of you. They were completely dumbfounded. Even if they wanted to fight, they didn't even get a chance. Because every single zombie dog that drew near was instantly shredded by your hermit crab. That guy's base is insanely strong. Not far away, Liao Dao and his crew had been keeping a close eye on you. Aunt Yang gritted her teeth in frustration. Damn it, how can these zombie dogs be so utterly useless? Go tear him apart, take your time, wait for the right moment to strike, Feng Tai said in a low voice. He scanned his surroundings and asked in confusion, where did Xiao Yun go? Everyone was stunned. Li Xiao Yun was indeed gone. Over there, Liao Dao suddenly pointed ahead, and the others quickly looked over. They saw Li Xiao Yun actually sitting in the tent on the back of the six-legged lizard. She was doing her best to show off her figure, and she had even put her electric scooter on the back of the six-legged lizard. Ha ha ha, don't be scared, babe. With me here, nobody can lay a finger on you. Wang Cheng laughed out loud, controlling the six-legged lizard to attack the corpse dogs. The six-legged lizard was indeed powerful. Its thick, spiked tail could whip one of those corpse dogs with absolute ease. You're so strong, handsome. Li Xiao Yun held her face with both hands, looking at Wang Cheng with utter admiration. This made his eyes glaze over with lust. Don't you worry, babe. Just stay cozy in that tent. I'll come get you as soon as I'm done. What a cheap bitch. Seeing this, Liao Ju clenched his fists in pure rage. He had always protected Li Xiao Yun, viewing her as his future woman. He never expected her to throw herself at someone else just because they were strong. She really was a worthless bitch. Their boss, Feng Tai, couldn't help but curse too. But when he turned his head to look at Aunt Yang, he saw her staring at Li Xiao Yun with pure envy, as if she wished she could be 10 or 8 years younger herself. What are you staring at? Feng Tai snapped, and Aunt Yang instantly pulled her gaze back. Clinging to Feng Tai's arm, she whined, "Oh, brother Tai. Why are you being so mean?" Feng Tai and his group were hiding behind Wang Cheng, so they didn't have to take turns on the front line. It was incredibly easy for them, but the other positions weren't so lucky. Not all players were strong enough to fight off the corpse dogs. As more and more of them charged out of the darkness, the pressure on the players began to mount. Casualties were rising rapidly. Right then, in front of you, more than 10 corpse dogs charged forward at once. Their faces were hideous, slinging foul-smelling drool everywhere as they ran. Inside your conch shell, you couldn't help but feel a surge of tension. More than 10 corpse dogs attacking at once would be incredibly hard to block. Little crab, we can't let them hit the shell. You commanded the hermit crab, its two massive claws slashing like sharp blades, to rip 2 charging corpse dogs to shreds. With a sweeping strike, you sent another 3 flying. But you were simply outnumbered. The corpse dogs broke through your defense anyway. One of them lunged straight at the middle-aged man with the tricycle on your right. The man swung his wooden club hard at the corpse dog's head, but it wasn't enough to stop its wild charge. He was instantly knocked to the ground. Roar! The corpse dog bit down hard on the man's face, cutting his agonizing scream short. Before you could even try to help, 3 corpse dogs leapt onto your conch shell, trying to find a way inside. You immediately control the hermit crab's massive claw, instantly crushing 2 rot dogs to death. But a third rot dog circles around to the back of the hermit crab. That is a blind spot the claw cannot reach. Your face pales. These rot dogs actually found its weakness. The hermit crab's claw is incredibly powerful, but its back is a massive vulnerability. It is a complete blind spot for attacks. The rot dog reaches the hermit crab's back and claws at the gap between its body and the conch shell, sinking its teeth toward the soft, vulnerable flesh. At that critical moment, riding on the hermit crab's back, you whip around, aiming your pistol right at the rot dog's head and pulling the trigger. Bang! With a loud crack, the bullet pierces right through the rot dog's skull. The rot dog collapses instantly. You let out a long sigh of relief. Thank goodness you reacted fast. The hermit crab swings its massive claw once more, killing several more rot dogs. Defeated Tier 1 rot dogs times 5. Psionic energy plus 25. Obtained 2 psionic crystals. You now have 10 psionic crystals. The base can be upgraded. Do you wish to consume materials to upgrade to level 2? As the system's voice rings in your ears, your eyes light up. Upgrade. Upgrading the base to level 2 requires the following materials. Do you wish to proceed? 1 level 2 base upgrade blueprint. 50 units of steel, 5 units of electrical power, 10 kilograms of meat and psionic crystals, which can be acquired by defeating anomalies. You need 10 crystals in total. Do you wish to continue? Please select an upgrade path from the options below. Note: choosing different paths will yield entirely different effects. Technology, magic, or life. You freeze for a moment. There are actually upgrade paths? Your mind races, just looking at the names. Magic seems like the superior choice. I choose the magic path. Hermit Crab Base successfully promoted to level 2. Current upgrade path. Magic. Level 1 Hermit Crab upgraded to level 2 Magic Young Crab. Acquired skill 1. Magic Shield, level 1. Consumes player's psionic energy. When attacked, automatically deploys a magic shield with 500 magic defense. Acquired skill 2. Thunder Enchantment, level 1. It allows you to imbue weapons with lightning, granting a 100 magic power boost. Note: skills can be upgraded using corresponding skill books. To unlock even greater power, the game interface flashes with a stream of text. There is so much information here, leaving you completely astonished. This game's mechanics are far more interesting than you expected. These 2 magic skills are actually quite impressive, especially the magic shield, since it activates automatically. You never have to worry about sneak attacks again. The Hermit Crab's upgrade to a Magic Young Crab doesn't change its appearance much, but its actual combat capabilities have undergone an earth-shattering transformation. While you were busy upgrading your base, battle outside had already reached a fever pitch. The bodies of players and rot dogs litter the ground. However, relatively speaking, the players still hold a slight advantage, thanks to the rotation of their 3 defensive lines. The Alliance managed to hold off the zombie hound's onslaught. By now, the beast's numbers had visibly dwindled. Though the Alliance's defensive line still held firm, their own numbers had been heavily depleted. Their entire front had shrunk by nearly half. Of the Alliance's original 300-plus members, nearly 1/3 were now gone. At this very moment, the zombie hounds began to falter, actually starting to retreat. Seeing the zombie hounds pull back, the players all let out a collective sigh of relief. They're backing off. The monsters are retreating. We did it. We actually held them off. We won. The players cried out in ecstasy, basking in the joy of victory. But you could only frown. To retreat so suddenly, something isn't right. It had been an evenly matched battle. If the zombie hounds had just pushed a little longer, the players' line would have collapsed. After all, when it came to stamina, humans were no match for monsters. This was what bothered you so much. Crawling out from inside the hermit crab, you stood atop its conch shell, peering into the distance, but it was pitch black all around, leaving no trace of any hidden monsters. Even so, you refused to let your guard down. Holy crap, I'm rich. I just got a purple tier weapon drop. Just then, a man pulled out a revolver glowing with a purple light, shouting in excitement. At those words, the players nearby all turned to look. When they saw the revolver in his hand, their eyes flared with greed. You looked over at the man, raising an eyebrow. This was the same biker guy who had stood out in the previous fight. He actually had a compound bow on him too. But he had already run out of arrows during the battle. A lot of players had probably noticed that. You couldn't tell if he was genuinely stupid or just playing dumb to show off his loot at a time like this. Sure enough, with that shout of his, the atmosphere instantly shifted. The monster's retreat meant this brief alliance had already crumbled. The darkest sides of human nature were about to erupt. HMPH, you think a treasure like that belongs to someone like you? Hand it over. Behind the biker, a hulking man suddenly raised a machete and swung it down. The blade was aimed straight for the biker's neck. If it connected, his head would have been clean off. But the biker was clearly prepared. He rolled off his bike, dodging the deadly swing. Sneering, he raised his revolver and pointed it at the giant. The brute's face paled instantly. He quickly raised his hands, begging, "Whoa, brother, it's a misunderstanding. It's all a misunderstanding." The biker sneered, "You all saw that, right? He's the one who made the first move." As the words left his mouth, under everyone's horrified stares, the biker pulled the trigger, killing the brute with a single shot. The big guy collapsed to the ground, leaving his tent base up for grabs. With a wave of his hand, the biker guy put the tent away. After all, this was his loot now. "You bastard, you killed my brother," a man pushing a handcart screamed, charging angrily at the biker, but the biker didn't care at all. He raised his pistol and fired a shot. Bang! The bullet pierced right between the man's eyes, and he fell backward onto the ground. Dying instantly, his mobile base cart naturally became the biker's loot as well. Gasp. That moment, the surrounding players saw how ruthless the biker was and immediately grew wary. They all backed away as the biker scanned the crowd. A smirk crept onto his face. No one else is going to step up? Then I'll be taking my leave. The man hopped onto his motorcycle, wearing a playful smirk. Watching this unfold, you raised an eyebrow. So, he was just playing dumb to catch his prey, intentionally flaunting his wealth to bait people so he'd have a perfect excuse to fight back and take their supplies. He wasn't an idiot, he was just a bit too confident. The biker revved his engine, getting ready to leave the scene. But right then, Wang Chang made his move. Drawing a pistol, he shot right at the motorcycle's wheel with a loud bang. The tire blew out instantly, and the biker was violently thrown to the ground. Listen here, kid, this alliance was formed by me. Trying to play tricks right in front of me? You clearly don't show me any respect. The six-legged lizard charged fiercely at the biker. The biker scrambled to his feet, his face turning pale with fright. Brother Chang, he's the one who attacked first. I was only defending myself. Wang Chang sneered. Do you really think everyone is stupid enough to fall for your cheap tricks? The six-legged lizard opened its massive jaws, lunging forward to tear the biker apart. The biker frantically raised his revolver, repeatedly pulling the trigger at the massive beast. Bang, bang, bang. 3 bullets struck the six-legged lizard's head, but then, a shocking scene unfolded. Those 3 shots only managed to leave tiny wounds on the beast, with only the bullet tips barely piercing its tough skin. The back of the bullets still protruded outward. This level of damage was absolutely nothing to a giant beast like the six-legged lizard. How is this possible? The biker gasped, terrified. Go to hell, Wang Chang roared fiercely. The six-legged lizard lunged at the biker with its jaws wide open. Suddenly, a small whirlwind swirled beneath the biker's feet, allowing him to swiftly dodge the six-legged lizard's attack. Such an eerie, agile movement instantly made the other players gasp in surprise. Meanwhile, you noticed the small whirlwind beneath his feet. Is that an awakened ability? You're a combat-type ability user. Atop the six-legged lizard, Wang Chang looked genuinely surprised. The motorcycle guy sneered, good thing I had an ace up my sleeve. Otherwise, you really would have played me. Wang Chang's eyes darted as he schemed, and a smile suddenly broke across his face. Hey, brother, a good fight makes for good friends. You're a combat class Esper, aren't you? How about you run with me from now on? I'm planning to build my own faction. How about you be my second in command? A combat class Esper. As soon as those words came out, the surrounding players all showed shocked expressions. An Esper. In truth, they were just people with talents, but there was a clear distinction. They were divided into combat talents and support talents. The combat type was straightforward. Their talent was built for fighting, meaning their survivability was obviously incredibly high. But the support type was hit or miss. Some were so ridiculously strong they defied the heavens, while others were completely useless. Take your God-tier affix, for example. This talent was considered a support talent, so you weren't counted as a combat class Esper. Still, your talent was a bit special. Becoming a combat class Esper wasn't entirely impossible for you. Clearly, Wang Chang could tell the motorcycle guy was a pure combat class Esper. And since his level wasn't low either, he naturally wanted to win him over. Yi Liang sat on his motorcycle, a cold sneer rising on his face. Run with you? No way in hell I'm trusting you with my life. With those words, Yi Liang immediately revved the throttle and sped out of the auto station. Kid, don't push your luck. Wang Chang commanded his six-legged lizard to attack Yi Liang. Its spiked tail suddenly whipped across, tearing through the air with a loud whoosh. Yi Liang snorted coldly. B-tier talent, whirlwind. The next moment, the 2 wheels of the motorcycle were enveloped by the whirlwind, even though the tires had already burst. His speed remained incredibly fast, shooting out instantly like an arrow from a bow. The six-legged lizard's tail couldn't catch up at all to the motorcycle's speed, leaving Wang Chang to watch helplessly as he got away. Ha ha ha, you're Wang Chang, right? I've got my eyes on you now. You'd better pray we don't cross paths again. Remember my name, you bastard. I'm Yi Liang, the little whirlwind. Yi Liang laughed wildly as he rode his motorcycle straight into the darkness. Wang Chang's face turned livid with rage. Damn it, brother Chang, don't be mad. One little lamb got away, but we've got a big, fat sheep right here. Li Xiaoyun snuggled up from behind, wrapping her arms around Wang Chang's back. Wang Chang frowned. Who are you talking about? That guy named Lin Yi. Li Xiaoyun pointed her finger at you, not far away. A cold smile on her face. Wang Chang turned his head to look at you. Ah, that guy. He just stole my first kill earlier. I was just about to settle the score with him anyway. You stood on the conch shell. Your expression completely indifferent. What, now that you're done using us, you're turning your back? You were the one who proposed this alliance. We fought our hearts out to drive back those beasts, and now you want to kill us all? You deliberately raised your voice, making sure every player there could hear you. Those few words instantly dragged all the players onto your side. As soon as those words fell, every player there turned to look at Wang Chang. Their faces were full of resentment. After all, there were over 100 players here now. No matter how strong Wang Chang was, there was no way he could take on so many people at once. Wang Chang quickly tried to explain, everyone, please. This is a personal grudge between him and me. It's not what he's making it out to be. Don't listen to his lies. The beast attack has already been pushed back. You're all free to go. I, Wang Chang, swear I won't stand in your way for a second. But as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to establish a powerful faction in this wasteland. We'll band together to survive. After all, we've just gone through life and death together. I sincerely invite you all to stay and build a new empire with me in this world. Hearing this, the players looked at each other, murmuring among themselves. Quite a few of them were tempted. Surviving alone in this apocalypse was bound to be incredibly difficult, but if they had a group of like-minded allies, things might actually get easier. You're right, I'll stay. I'm joining your team, count me in too. Let's build something great together. Right away, people started stepping forward, pledging to follow Wang Chang. But there were exceptions. Sorry, man, I'm heading out. May our paths cross again. Take care. The afro-haired guy riding the skateboard cupped his hands respectfully to Wang Chang. I'm used to being on my own anyway. I'll take my leave first. With the afro guy leading the way, others quickly followed. In the end, the ratio of those staying to those leaving was about 2 to 1. The majority chose to stay. Seeing this, you shook your head helplessly. We still can't escape a bloody clash, after all. Then, you looked out beyond the highway service station. An uneasy feeling crept into your heart. I hope I'm just overthinking this. Those beasts shouldn't be that smart. Just as everyone finished choosing sides, the players on Wang Chang's side exchanged looks. A silent, sinister plan was formed. Wang Chang suddenly sneered, well, everyone. Since you don't want to join us, that makes you our competitors. So don't blame me for playing dirty. Boys, kill them all. Leading the charge, Wang Chang rode his six-legged lizard and lunged at the departing players. Before the driver of a small sedan could even react, the six-legged lizard crushed them under its massive claws. Boom, the sedan instantly exploded, sending a massive fireball into the air. The players inside didn't stand a single chance of escaping. Kill them. The six-legged lizard whipped its massive tail, sweeping across the front. Several players' mobile bases were obliterated in an instant. A small wooden cabin shattered into pieces, and the player inside was impaled by the spikes. On the lizard's tail, boom, with another whip of its tail, yet another janky old buggy went up in flames. Charge, they just killed a bunch of those decayed hounds. They've got tons of resources on them. That's right, all those resources are ours. Wang Chang's men launched sneak attacks one after another. Allies who were fighting side by side just moments ago, and yet, only a few minutes later, they've become mortal enemies. That's human nature for you. Damn you, Wang Chang. I knew you were up to no good. You're going to burn in hell. Afro stood on his skateboard, gripping a long blade in his hand. Ha ha ha, weaklings don't deserve to live. One of Wang Chang's men drove an off-road vehicle straight at Afro. Die, brat. Afro's face darkened. Clutching his blade, he prepared to fight to the death. But just as the vehicle was about to crash into him, colossal beast blocked the way right in front of him. A massive crab claw slammed down from above, piercing straight through the vehicle's windshield. The driver's face turned pale with horror. Boom, the claw shattered the windshield instantly, impaling the driver right in his seat. Standing atop the giant hermit crab, a faint smirk played on your lips. Staring at your back, Afro was so deeply moved he was on the verge of tears. Throughout this night, you had shielded him from countless attacks without even realizing it. Even though you didn't think much of it, he took every single gesture to heart. Brother Lin Yi. Afro's eyes welled with tears. Completely oblivious to Afro's intense inner drama, you simply pointed at Wang Cheng. I've had enough of your face. Tonight, I'm putting you in the ground. In the next instant, the hermit crab took heavy, thundering steps and charged ferociously straight into Wang Cheng's crew.